Hello, lovey friends, lovey people, whoever is here. Hello, loves. I don't know. I just wanted to vlog a little bit. This isn't a normal vlog, or it's not like gonna be a normal video or something with like an objective. I'm just in my car, and I just had the most amazing order from In-N-Out. So if anybody's willing to try it, my favorite right now is a fry with a water, but then I also get a grilled cheese. No normal onions, but whole grilled onions instead. No tomatoes, but add chopped chilies. So it's just whole grilled lettuce, cheese, peppers, spread, and deliciousness. If you want to try that, it's only $4.55 at In-N-Out right now, and it's delicious. Okay, no sponsorship. Anyways, no, I'm just in my car because I'm like chilling, just hanging out. It's a Sunday. It's where I'm wearing one of my warrior dresses, and I'm just hanging. I was kind of hit with this thought recently that came up, and this thought really was about, all these dreams that I have. I was sitting here in my car, just got home from In-N-Out, like probably gonna go in the house, make some food, pass out. Not to eat, but just for the week, because you gotta pre-plan or else you're gonna go broke living in a roommate situation. Maybe later I'll show you my tree. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so cool. Anyways, one of the things that I kind of got into was, I don't know, I was sitting here, and I won't get into the whole story that went behind me buying this, but I was at a dollar store, and I decided to buy this cool little doohickey right here. It was a little thing that says dream, and with it saying dream, I decided to write on there, if you could see that, yeah, 1 Corinthians 10:13, which is, whatever you do, do all for the glory of God, whether you eat or drink, whatever you do, all those things. And so, which I probably butchered that verse by quoting it, but oh man, I should film like this. Oh, biscuits. It's probably not gonna pick up that way. You probably see me sideways. I'm just gonna go back. Next one I'll do sideways. Yeah. Anyways, long story short, I was sitting here and I was thinking about all these dreams that I have. There's so many things that I want to do and so many things that have been on my mind lately. One of the biggest things that has come up and that has completely consumed my mind is this idea of having a tiny house and sustainable living. I think that that's something that really appeals to me. I live in a roommate situation, but I don't make a lot of money as a preschool teacher, and I think that, living in such a way where you just don't need a bunch of things or like a huge house and all this stuff, that'd be really cool. So, growing up, I'm getting older, 30 is knocking at the door. I'm gonna pull that move that Jeff Goldblum did in Thor Ragnarok, where he's like, here on Sakaar. It's just that moment where you just hey, 30's close. Guess how old I am? No, I don't care. I'm 28. Anyways, so I guess one of the things that is coming up is that's one big thing that I'm looking at is getting a tiny house. I love that idea of getting a tiny house. But one thing that I noticed that I do is I sit here and I'm like, yeah, I have this idea. I want to do it. And instead of just doing it, I talk about it. And then guess what happens? It never comes to pass. Only the things I never talk about come to pass. Why does that happen? It's been happening all my life, and I can't stand this because then I talk and then it never comes to pass and I get mad. Anyways, okay. So one of the biggest things that has come up for me, and this has been all my life, this has been oh, hey, Brittany, you're a freshman or sophomore in high school, what are you looking to do next year? Oh, I want to join winter percussion and play the quads. I'll just say something as small as that, and it doesn't wind up happening, and I'm set to do it, and then something some outside force will make it to where, oh, no, you can't join winter percussion because of this, that, and the other. And it's just why does this happen? It's been happening for so long. But here's the lesson that I learned, and I knew this lesson. I'm just sitting here in the car reflecting back on all those things, thinking about this future dream that I have, and it hit me clear as day. This lesson can be found for those of you who read, and whoa, that just totally changed everything. In James, James 4:13. Can you see that? Boasting about tomorrow. Oh my goodness, I just realized you might see this backwards like I do right now, but if you see it the right way, let's read it. if you could see it. It says, come now, you who say today or tomorrow we will go into such and such a town and spend a year there and trade and make a profit. Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will live and do this or that. As it is, you boast in your arrogance. All such boasting is evil. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him, it is sin. I think you could see that. I'm like way up on it. Sorry, guys. I had to read it, so I wasn't looking at how it looked when I read it. I'm sorry. But at least in those verses, I was completely convicted because I read this a long time ago. It didn't settle in. All the way up until, like, you know, a recent conversation with my mom where that happened again. And I was like, it's something weird that I do where I feel like every time I talk to, like, my parents or somebody who's trying to figure out, like, what's up with your life, I feel like I have to say, oh, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm going to be doing this. I'm making this happen. And it's because I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just used to being such a screw up in my life, or, like, used to being the one that just doesn't have it together, that, like, you know, when I'm 28, not married, just living life, like, living with roommates, struggling, strapped for cash. Usually sometimes I get down to, like, my last $2 or, like, I'm pulling out change. It's just, like, until the next check. And you're just like, I'm not one screw-up kid, you know? But I openly share that. I don't care. You can judge me. You can do whatever. You're screw-up, too. Don't even pretend. Anyways. But, like, as I sit here and, like, I think through all this stuff, like, I don't know. It just makes me think, like, why do I do that? And it really is arrogance. We don't get to choose, like, the day that we die. We don't get to choose, or, like, we don't get to dictate, like, hey, I'm gonna make sure, like, something bad's not gonna happen to me today, or I'm gonna, like, predict current, or, like, make current events happen. Like, we don't dictate anything. It's the Lord that does. So I think that that's one big thing that I'm just sitting here festering on in my car, and I just wanted to do, like, a quick little vlog. This is not quick because it's 7 minutes, because I don't have editing software on this phone, and I'm posting it straight from my phone to the YouTubes. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, there's a lot of things I've been thinking about lately, like, you know, like, oh, let me just save up and, like, buy a van and do, like, a van conversion, and then work up to, like, paying off debt and, like, establishing my credit, and then doing, like, a tiny house buy, like, after that, and, like, all these things where it's like I have all these plans for myself, but the biggest thing that's missing is giving God glory, even in the midst of how we use our words. I think one of the biggest ways to do that is by saying, if the Lord wills it, this will happen. And I think it's cool to have dreams, it's cool to make plans, but the one thing about that is you have to, you know, I forgot what that proverb says. It's like, man makes the plans, you know, or he devises something, but the Lord has the reply of the heart. Like, man makes the plans of the heart, but the Lord has the reply. Something like that. It's like we plan, is that Proverbs 3? Proverbs 6? I don't remember. We plan, but the Lord is the one who comes up with, like, hey, this is going to happen or not. He's the one who's ordained all of our days. He already knows what's going to happen. He has everything set. And so I think that's one thing to remember. And even in our words, just giving him glory, giving him praise, because you don't hold your life together. You didn't even make yourself happen in the womb. You didn't feed yourself. There's nothing that you willed for yourself. Yeah, you pushed up your sleeves to make something happen in your life, but only because the Lord allowed it to be so, and only because he gave you your breath that day to wake up and do it. So, I don't know. I'm learning this lesson. I wanted to share it. And I had, you know, one of the women at church come and talk to me, and she mentioned that too, which was a huge reminder, and it's festering in my mind. Her name's Arena, and she's like, awesome, you know, it was my friend's mom. She just came up and chatted with me today for a heck of a long time, and, like, it's so cool to, like, learn from older women, because they have a lot more wisdom to teach you. And, like, just listening to her, that totally came into play, where she was talking about, like, hey, like, we can't do anything without the Lord, and she's totally right. You may think that you have strength, but that is a weakness, because you are just completely blinded to how the world works. You didn't even will anything. Like, everything you've been given is from the Lord. And so, I don't know. It's just a great reminder for me this week. A great reminder for you guys, whoever watches this. And, yeah. So, peace. Bye.